Like and subscribe to Serious and Silliness YouTube channel.
So yeah. So I'll let you know I did get choked up this weekend. I didn't cry, but I got choked up. And I'll tell you what. Oh, first of all, before we get started, Jason Arns, IFBB legend and future legend, Stanimal. Stan, how do you pronounce your last name?
Delongeau.
Yeah, forget it. Stanimal is fine.
What is it? What is it?
Delongeau.
Delongeau?
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Well done.
So where did your mother come up with the name Stanimal? Like where did you your dad a lion or was he like in the wild kingdom or something? How did
No, it's my nickname. It's not
I'm kidding. I know.
Who gave you that? Who gave you that nickname?
Well, actually, it's funny because it's when I started lifting weight after, first summer after, a whole winter and all. Was playing soccer with some friends and I took my shirt off. And in French, when you watch, these guys look like a beast, Stan, you say, whoa, Stanimal. It looks like, and it sounded like Stan, which is my first name. I was like, oh, that's cool. So then you stuck. It's kind of that simple.
Well, thank you for being on Muscle Talk. Hopefully you can, come on again. That'd be great. But I appreciate you coming on, man. And okay, so I'm just going to clear the air. I got choked up this weekend. I didn't cry, but I'll tell you why. Because my mother is 88 years old and she can't really get around much anymore. She can't drive. She could barely walk, but she wants to go to church. So I was like, all right, Ma, I'll take you to church. So I pick her up, I take her to church and we get there early. So she wants to light candles, right? So she goes over and she puts like $5 in like the drop box. And she wants to light a candle for Saint Teresa, who was actually French, by the way, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. And yeah.
Oh, Eddie Curry?
What?
You said Marie-Anne Eddie Curry?
Saint Teresa. I don't know any.
Oh, Saint Marita. Yeah. She was French. Yeah.
She was, right? Okay. So she lights a candle for Saint Teresa, and then she right next to Saint Teresa is Jesus, so she lights a candle for Jesus. And 10 feet away was the Blessed Mother. And my mother never goes to the Blessed Mother to light the candle. And she takes me by the arm. Now she's 88, right? And she goes, I have to go see the Blessed Mother. And then I was like, that's when I got choked up because I was because I took it as I need to make amends before I go. You know what I mean? So that was like, good. Anyway, all right. I don't want to I want to give you a sob story. But anyway. All right. So
that's for the religious part of our show.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So Stan, first of all, thank you for making the comment under the review I did of what was it, the Chicago Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And
so anybody who knows, that's how desperate we are to get people on this show. You make a comment, we pull you right in.
That's exactly what I did.
I watch everything.
Throwing John a line, he's gonna pull you right in.
No question about it. I am not Fuad. I am not fucking. What is the Olympia channel? I got to do what I got to do.
I'm fucking around with it. We got a good thing here.
Yeah.
So first question I want to ask you, Stan, is first of all, you did 3 shows, right?
This year, yeah.
Okay. And you didn't start off as an open bodybuilder. You started off as physique. You turned pro as physique, right?
That's physique, yes.
And then you went from physique to classic physique to open.
Yeah.
How long did it I'm sorry?
Actually, last weekend was my 30th show as a pro.
Wow, really?
Oh, shit. How old are you, Stan?
35.
Wow, impressive, dude. That's take it if you can.
How long have you been a pro?
Well, 10 years now. 2014 Arnold Classic men's physique.
Wow.
So on the average 3 shows a year, dude, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
How many men's bodybuilding shows is that?
So men's bodybuilding has been a little less. So I did San Marino, then I did the California Pro, and then the Legion, Toronto Pro, Legion again, Muscle Contest Brazil last year, and then those 3 shows. So 9.
9. And how many? And the rest were men's physique and classic.
Yeah,
obviously.
Exactly. So
was there a lot of men's physique when you? What made you transition?
Well, there was,
started liking squats. You started liking squats more and more, and you just
actually I started training legs from the very first start. I never skipped legs.
I'm fucking around though.
But no, I just but classic physique was not like there when I first started, you know.
Right.
So when he came around, I was just like, yeah, that's what I like. That's the physiques I like. So why would I stay somewhere when I can do something I really enjoy? Even maybe I'm less successful, but it doesn't matter to me. I just love this. So that's what I want to do. That's what I wanted to pursue. So,
right.
So you kind of like have that old school mentality where you have to compete. You obviously competed a lot. Why do you think? I don't know if you looked at your phone, but I sent you and I sent Jay. There's a show this weekend coming up in Europe. Why do you think guys aren't competing? I mean, I don't understand, because now what's happening is they're all going to try and qualify at the end. So now you got Carlos, Hunter, Andrew Jack in Texas. And then in Europe, I forgot which one it is, but you're going to have Regan Grimes, Nathan D'Asher, and who's the
Andrea,
Good Vito.
Yeah.
So all these guys now, like, so if you don't win, you're not going to qualify, but you had all these opportunities since the New York Pro. Why do you think they're not competing?
Well, I think there's many things. First of all, there was like 30 plus guys at the Olympia last year.
Right.
So the guys that were not in, so the guys in the top, they qualified. Some of the guys were like 5 to 10. They're gonna qualify no matter when they compete, right? So they can just whenever. And then the guys who compete and are not in that mix, they have to rest before they can compete a little bit again. You know, if they want to improve, get healthy. So they're probably taking that break after, and now now they're starting improving, and they're gonna be ready toward the end of the season. A lot of people are also taking the season off to make some progress. Quinton, Antoine Vaillant, like all these guys. And then the main problem too is with the whole economic situation. I think the shows don't pay much. Usually it costs you a lot of money to do those. So if you're not making money doing shows and not enough to, like, if you win, you get a little extra cash. Depends what you consider you invest in the competing. But if you're not winning, you're just basically covering your costs,
Right.
And if you're not even top 5, you're not even making any money, so you're losing money competing. It's tough.
But Stan, even what you've done 3 shows on the average a year,
back to back.
That's rare. You don't see guys doing more than most, and I'm not talking the upper tier guys. I'm talking about the guys that are trying to make a name for themselves, that are trying to come up in the ranks, that are just doing 1 show a year. And even guys that make a shitty showing, they show up and they're not peaking right. And instead of going on to the next show and trying to get their timing right and learn their body and learn how to transition, into being a good successful pro or a good competitive pro, like, oh, I'm done for the year and I'm taking off. Like, that's what we see. It's rare. And look, I respect what you're doing, dude, because you don't get most guys coming up in the ranks doing 3 shows a year. You just don't. You don't see that anymore.
That's what's hard, like, to make the progress and competing also. But at the same time, that's why I think I am, like, today, like this year, starting to make some little bit of noise, because I have all this stage experience. So when I get to shows, I know exactly what to do. I know how to peak. I know when the timing of things. And of course, I've got an amazing coach to help me with that, Patrick Tuor.
Yeah.
But
that's what we beat ourselves over the head. And I've done it, dude. I've done it, and I know how difficult it is to peak and have to do it again and have to do it again. But to see somebody who has the tenacity like you to do it and to want to do it, and then you see some of these other guys who they're not just falling short. It's one thing to try and to fall short.
Yeah,
they're just not fucking trying.
Yeah, it's not even. Yeah, exactly.
And you're able. Look, of course you could make progress from show to show. We're fucking pro athletes, dude. We find a way. You know what I mean? But what we beat ourselves over the head with week after week is it just seems like the lack of work ethic and the lack of competitiveness in some of these younger pros nowadays. They just, I'll do this and I'll hit my social media and I get it, dude. Like the shows don't pay well, but they've never paid well, you know, and they're not going to pay well until you get to the top spot, you know. And if we did this for the money, dude, we have to say we're fucking fooling ourselves, dude. We don't do this for the money, right?
Yeah. No,
well,
so there's something definitely missing nowadays with the competitiveness and the guys that are turning pro.
But it's also tough because, you know, a lot of the companies, they want to invest on people that have visibility, and people who have visibility, the people who are focusing on social media.
That's right.
Like, and it takes a lot of, it's really hard. I mean, it takes a lot of work to do both, to like compete, you know, really push your body to those, you know, the conditioning that's not, you know, pro level, and still being like, you know, fresh in your head to record videos, especially if you don't have help. And like, I've done always a lot of stuff I do all myself, you know, just like to pull the camera, edit the videos when you're at home, like you should be sleeping maybe, you know.
Right.
It's not easy. It's a pain in the ass.
So it's easier to be like in a decent enough shape and like just do a lot of videos all year round, and maybe do one show here and there to lean out a little more and just get the name, your name going a little bit. But then you know, competing over and trying to do all the social media, and I think it's a lot of people have a hard time to balance all that stuff.
Yeah. Now to Jay's point, I sent you guys the list of this weekend coming up. So this is the big man weekend in Spain coming up this weekend. And I recognize two guys on here, and one of which, the only reason why I recognize him is because he's done a few shows this year. That is Emir Amarajic. I can't pronounce his fucking name, but he's done a bunch of he's done a bunch of shows. I sent it to your Instagram, Stan. And the other guy, the other guy is Roman Fritz. Everybody else, I have no clue. And you know,
well, Christian Wolski, he also competed at the last two shows in Europe.
Oh, did he? Okay. Oh, that's right. Wolski, that's right. He came in.
Yeah, you know him, the guy from Poland. You know him.
He came in what, fourth in Portugal?
I think that's one, yeah. But the show before that, I was surprised. I think he was last or before last, and I thought he looked really good.
Yeah. But like I said, you know, you got three guys, you got three big hitters coming to Texas, and like I don't understand why. Hey, listen, you want to do Texas? That's great. Jump in the show, get your qualification, and do Texas. I don't know, especially guys like Hunter and Andrew Jack and Carlos. You know, they have.
Well, dude, that's gonna be quite a show, dude.
Yeah. Stan, did you see what Carlos looked like in his guest posing?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, man. I was like, I messaged his father because we had his father on. I said, what are you feeding this kid? Holy shit. Like, it's just
it looks good, dude.
And his back looks like it improved because he turned around and did a lat spread. I was like, it opened up like a barn door. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I think I just ran into him at the Olympia. I was like, this guy is really big.
Yeah, dude, he's a monster. Yeah, we've had him on a bunch of times, and we did. I had a show on muscular development. He was on every week with us. He's a really good dude, and his father's a great guy.
Yeah, I've seen an interview, two of them together.
Yeah.
Just after he got his pro card, and
So, if you can take us through, you know, how you the weight gain and how you went from men's physique to classic to open, because are you the only person that has done that?
Yeah, there's also Johnny Sebastian, who did a little differently. He did 212. But he was switching from men's physique he was one of the first Olympians men's physique, and he did then he wanted to switch to 212, but then classic came out, so he did classic, and then he went to 212, and then he went back to classic, and then he ended up doing even men's physique at the end again.
Holy shit. So you're the only guy that went from men's physique to classic physique to open. I mean, that's really saying something, right? That's a true accomplishment. So explain how you put on all that size and the work you had to do to get there.
Well, the first thing, I started lifting weight when I turned 18. So it was 2006, January 2006. And at first, I started lifting just it was first it was for basketball, but like when I started at this point, I stopped playing basketball, and then I had been playing sports my whole life, so I couldn't just like be inactive all of a sudden, and I needed to do something. So that I wanted to just lift weight, and then the purpose of it was just purely aesthetic at that point because I was not doing any sports. So that's when I got interested in how to shape the body. That's how I stumbled upon bodybuilding. And I started, reading everything. I got, I just got hooked, and I just wanted to know how everything worked. And then when you start applying those training principle and diet, like you feed your body and you start seeing the results. It's addictive.
Yeah,
you
right.
have such control over your body. That was for me really. That was like when you're 18, you reach your peak of heights, and it was a way for me to keep evolving after my body was like, that's my adult's basically body, like size wise, and I was like, now I can keep improving that body until as far as I can, push it as far as I can. And then I did.
Okay, sorry.
So then I did lift weights for since 2006, and then in 2012, like 13 was the first Olympia men's physique. So all the men's physique starting coming out on the magazines, and I was leaning out for the summer. And some people in the gym was like, hey, you got that look, you should try that. So the idea just, was like interesting to me because I was kind of starting thinking maybe even doing a bodybuilding show, like a natural bodybuilding show. And I did men's physique. My first show, I did pretty good. And I did, that was Muscle Mania. Then I did an NPC show. I didn't do that well there. It was way more competitive. And I was all natural also. But then things happened, and I just went to the Arnold Classic. I don't know if you want me to explain all the processes of that, but
no, you could give us the Reader's Digest version.
Yeah, so I came here after graduating from college. I came to the US. I was supposed to be here until Christmas, but then I met some people like Jay, like a person who decided to sponsor me, and then so I just postponed my flight back, and then I got my pro card at the Arnold Classic. So I just stayed in the US. Never took that flight back home.
That's it.
So then, yeah. So then I
running from the government ever since.
Sorry?
He's been running from the government ever since.
No, I'm all legal.
I'm kidding.
But yeah, so then at that point I was still natural, and I got a pro card. So now I'm thinking, but that's the beginning of men's physique. So it's it's not the men's physique. When people are like, oh yeah, no way.
Okay.
I didn't look like the guys nowadays. I was
right.
way different back then, So anyway, so all of a sudden I'm like a pro, and so I just I start using a little bit of gear, start progressing. Then classic physique came around. My legs were pretty good body part of mine, and because like I said before, I don't know if you were recording or not, but that's when I always train my legs since the very start. And so then I decided to switch to classic because that's also the look I liked. I was the golden era physiques, and I wanted to be on stage and do a little more than just stand front and back. So I was like, I'm gonna give this a try. I did one show, got 7s, I think, and I did another show a couple of weeks later, and I was actually in the last call out. And I fought my way back, and I ended up 2nd place at that show. And I kind of really took off for me from there. And then the following year, at the end of the year, I qualified for my first Olympia for the 2018. And then right after that, I qualified for the next Olympia, where I placed top 10. And then at that point, during that prep for the Olympia, I was working with Chris at that point. And I was around 230, and my cutoff weight was 207. And Chris told me, yeah, I think it's the last time we're doing this because you look really good at that weight. And Shawn always was like, yeah, you're gonna do bodybuilding with Shawn Rhoden. He was gonna train together. And he was always telling me that's what I was gonna end up anyway, because he knows how much I love it, And so once Chris Acedo kind of like give me the green light, I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. And so right after the Olympia 2019, I just jumped into my first open show, just in a rebound fashion, and just kept growing since.
How much weight did you put on from physique to open?
It's hard to tell because men's physique, it was not the same condition at all.
Okay.
I was competing around 175 when I truly should have been probably 145,
Wow. Okay.
I don't know, maybe 150. It's hard to tell, but I was not as when you first start getting lean, you think this is lean, but
right. And how much did you weigh at the Chicago Pro when you were on stage?
Like 236.
Okay. What was your off season?
How tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
What was your off season weight this year?
I went up to like 280, just above 280.
Really? Wow. Okay. Are you
But
gonna
that was
try?
the off season. When I my off season in classic physique, when I was between the Olympia, between the two Olympiads I did, I went up to 270 that year. It was sloppy, but yeah, I went up pretty high. So that's when we came down all the way to 230, and we were like, okay, maybe we're a little too big for classic now.
Yeah. I tell you, man, it's impressive because not too many guys have the wherewithal to do that, and then to continue competing in your condition. I mean, you did three shows back to back this year, where your conditioning was clearly the best on stage.
Thank you.
And excuse me, even me, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, there's no way you can keep that conditioning for the third show, and then boom, you fucking nailed it again. Is that something that comes easy for you, or is it a hard process?
For me, it's easier to get lean than back on site.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Very cool, man. Very cool. Who is the most good?
Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, how come you're from France and so is Lionel Becky? How come you're so good and he is just a mess?
But he's not. I mean, he's got. If I could have this body, man. But I think he's from Cameroon. He's not French. Like we don't have like.
Oh, really?
I had his genes.
Fuck him then if he's not French. I don't know.
Oh, he's French, but like his roots are from Cameroon.
Oh, okay.
Where?
Cameroon, West Africa.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, it's just, I think it's just a product of the guys that just don't want to. Everybody throws an excuse at me that, but I think it's just a product of a few guys that don't want to put the work in. Well, a lot of guys don't want to put the work in,
But sometimes it's not even the work. It's people, they're stuck with like, I have to weigh this weight, And then,
it's like a mental thing. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's the case for him, but I remember like for the California Pro that Nathan Diasha won, I think that was 2017 maybe.
Yeah.
Or 18. He was between New York and the California Pro. He stayed in LA, and I was training with him a couple of times, and he was like, "Oh, I can't be under this weight. I can't, like."
I got you.
So I think that was kind of like the sticking point, and I was like, "Just come down a little under, and then you feel back up, but then you're tighter." But,
yeah. All right. Well, listen, if he doesn't learn his lesson now, I don't know when he probably won't ever, but it is what it is. Yeah. Not to change the subject, but I was in the gym, right, Owens? And so that skinny chick again.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. But what was great about the skinny girl. So Stan, I don't want to.
She spoke English this time.
No, she didn't. I didn't talk to her. Stan, there's this skinny girl, like seriously skinny, that every time I'm at the gym, or that gym that she goes to, and she's there, she kind of like throws the message out at me. But this one, but this time she was with a guy.
Right? Oh, really?
Yeah, but this is what happened. When she walked past me, she walked in front of the guy and was like ignoring him because he was like trying to talk to her. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, bro. I think she fucking wants to fucking
out there, dude. She's throwing it out there.
She wants to fucking Italian hammer. That's what it is, bro.
That poor girl. She probably like, this guy keeps creeping me out, staring at me, following me around. I pretend not to speak English.
He was like, he was walking. So you see, I have a boyfriend.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, he
pretends like she doesn't know English just so she doesn't have to have a conversation with him.
Yeah, well, that's reality, and then I make it up in my head. So later on, I could just, Anyway, so what was I going to say? So Stan, who is the most impressive guy this year that you saw backstage?
Backstage. I don't know. I mean, Hassan was very impressive in Vancouver, but it's like when I'm backstage, I don't look at it. I'm like, it's in my head. I'm fighting. I'm like, I'm winning. Like I'm the best. I can't.
Right. Yeah, you got tunnel vision.
Yeah, exactly. So it's I actually really appreciate how good he was looking back after the show.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, he fucking hit it right. He had to do it there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, he's got more muscle. He's,
Yeah.
I think, you know, the only knock on him really is his waist. You know, that's the only problem, really. If he had a slimmer waist, and there's really not much you could do about it, you know. Like if he had a slimmer waist, it'd be lights out for everybody. But it's just unfortunately he comes he's a little blocky, and then if he comes off, it's like it throws him all off a little bit.
That's
You know?
why
Little
like
square.
Yeah.
when he I think when he peaks better, like he actually his waist comes in more, and
Right.
that's
Right.
a big plus.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he's one of those guys that has to come in 100%. Otherwise, you know, if he's a
Well, he
little
doesn't have
off.
to worry about holding fullness because he's got so much muscle. So
Yeah, he's guys. It's unbelievably huge. I mean, Phil Klahar, I had him on, and he said, you know, seeing him at the what was the Cali Pro? I think it was the Cali Pro.
Orlando.
Seeing him. Oh, Orlando. Sorry, you're right. Seeing him. He said seeing him backstage. He goes, he's just has so much muscle on him. He said it's undescribable.
Phil is pretty big too. Yeah,
Yeah,
The
Phil's a
white
big dude.
guy.
Yeah. Phil's a big dude. So I wanted to. You were very good friends with the former late Mr. Olympia, Shawn Rhoden. How did you wind up becoming such good friends with him?
So I met him the first time. It was at the FIBO 2013, I believe. And I was surprised because he didn't have much of a line at his booth. So actually I spent a lot of the afternoon with him talking. And so that was in April. And then I came to California to Gold Gym. It was like end of October, early November, the same year. So he remembered me, and then we just just seeing him in the gym here and there. And as I was staying longer and longer, I started like training at the same time as him. So we'd chat before, we'd chat a little bit after, sometimes do cardio together. And then the more I started, I get to know him, he was just like a super funny guy. And like, I was like, that doesn't show at all in his social media. Like he's just posting like pictures of him on stage, which looks like, something that nobody can really achieve. Like, so it's not really relatable. And he just puts quotes. And I was like, there's so much more depth to this guy. It's too bad that he doesn't show it. Like, so I decided to start, recording here and there, like some little clips of him training or catching him dancing in the gym or like, just anything, just him being himself.
Right.
And as he got even more like getting to know me and getting comfortable around me, he was really like, showing his true self. And so I was able to like show a little bit of that to the people. And so that's why we got, spending even more time together. And one thing led to another, like 2015 Olympia, I mean, in his hotel room, and not many people are allowed there. And then the following years, kept just getting closer and closer. And then, the 2018 Olympia, I mean, we started training together end of 2016, 2017, 2018, which we trained all the time together. After that, we started training together until like he was not allowed to do. I mean, not until that he was not allowed to, but we were prepping together for the 2019 Olympia. So then he kept training with me, of course. And then we kept training together after that too, until I moved to Chicago because he moved a little away. So like to be closer to his daughter. So he was not in LA no more, but he was in Oxnard, which is halfway between LA and Santa Barbara, where his daughter lives. And then it was during COVID. So I moved across to Chicago actually for about a little bit less than a year. And then he told me, the community was moving to Vegas, the bodybuilding community with Flex opening his gym. And he was like, oh, we're moving to Vegas. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. And then we moved in together. So
oh, that's great.
Yeah, so then we were roommates here because we were like, Shawn, if you know him, he's always late. So instead of waiting for him at the gym, we can just leave the house together, and then we have the same lifestyle. I was like, that's weird because you would normally like he's not someone to really share his private space with others, but we became so close over the years that it was really like a brother to me, and yeah.
After he won the Olympia, I mean, he obviously clearly won hands down. As soon as he came out, like pretty much everybody knew it was a wrap. But
you know how much you weigh?
How much? I don't know.
What's your guess?
220.
Oh, that's really low.
I nailed it.
No, that's very low, but that's 238. He was.
Yeah, 38.
Okay. Because once you asked me that, I was like, it's got to be low.
Yeah, but the year prior, he was like 260.
Wow, so the year before, I thought he looked better.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. The year before, I thought, look, Phil beat him, but physique-wise.
You'd saying 2017 or 16? Because 17 he ended up fifth.
When he took
That's right. He had a stomach issue.
Yeah,
What was the year he took second?
the 2016.
16.
16?
Yeah,
So that year, dude, his physique, like that's when he was just,
yeah, it was huge.
you
Man.
know, and even the year he won, I don't think that was his best physique.
I think he was super. He was definitely flat. So he was so
Yeah.
out.
He was
Yeah.
good enough to win. Don't get me wrong. He was good enough to win, but his physique was better the year prior or 2 years prior.
2 years prior, really. I'd have to go back and look, but I remember seeing him come out and seeing that silhouette. And then I was like, this guy's
great shape, dude. Great lines.
This guy nailed it. This guy fucking nailed it.
I prefer, I also prefer a little bit more when he's a little fuller. Like, yeah, 2016 was a really like great package in my opinion. But like that crispiness that he had, I don't know if you guys were there in 2018. It was just like next level. Like he couldn't even like speak. He had no voice because everything was so dried out.
Yeah.
He was barely eating, I think, a couple of grapes a day. Like it was insane. Like his feet were cracking as he was walking on the floor, because there was no fat, no water, nothing on there. So it was something.
Yeah, it's amazing. Now, after he won, I just want to get your opinion. And if you don't want to answer this, that's fine. After he won the Olympia, he ran into a little bit of bad luck, and he had certain allegations against him, and he wasn't able to compete for several years. And then obviously he passed away. Mm-hmm. Did he ever talk to you about his frustration about the allegations and about not being able to compete and so on?
But it was the more frustrating it was when the thing blew up, at first, because the whole thing happened like a month or two after the Olympia 2018, but the whole story came out like 10 weeks out from the Olympia, so it was like the 2019.
A year later,
a year later. So it was kind of like and then the whole thing, it was, I mean, yeah, it's forgot what the question was exactly now, but
I said, did he ever express his frustration to you about the allegation and not being able to compete?
I mean, he was always someone like who kind of like really relaxed and stuff and not trying, but you could tell that was definitely hitting him alive. Like, I mean, his whole life he built up to this moment, and he just get there, and it's like now you can't compete no more. It's just taken away. And he was one of those guys. He was not like the social media influencer, like he was just someone that just worked his way through the sport. So when you took the sport away, like that took everything away. It was really tough for him.
Yeah, I can only imagine. It's kind of sad because if it would have been such a great story if he would have beat the allegations and then came back and won the Olympia again. It would have been a typical like underdog story, and he would have been a martyr. He would have been a legend. I mean, not that he's not, but it would have been something that people would be able to relate to. Like you kick him out while he's down, and then he comes forward and beats everything. I mean, that would be tremendous. But unfortunately, he passed, and we'll never know, actually what happened. But anyway, you got any questions for Stan, Jay?
No, I don't know if we discussed it. What's next for you, and what do you think of this year's up to now the Olympia lineup?
So what's next for me? I think it's pretty clear. Like last weekend, they told me I need more size, so it's not the next few shows that I'm gonna beat anybody on size, as the heavy hitters are coming. Hunter, Andrew Jack, all those guys we talked about a little bit earlier. So just being realistic and doing the smartest move, I think, right now is just to move into a progress season and come back early next year, maybe. I would really like to do the Arnold Classic, so if I get invited to that, I'll probably do that.
Very nice.
When you say progress season, somebody coming from men's physique into classic and now into open bodybuilding, what does that mean to you? What does that mean from a diet point of view, a nutrition point of view, a training point of view, a chemical point of view? What does that mean to you?
Basically, it's just the same thing as far as diet.
I mean, we all do the same shit, it's just more consistency and.
Well, the consistency is the same throughout the year. For me, dieting or for a show, dieting in the off season it's the same. I take it as seriously. I don't mess up. I have the same amount of sodium. I haven't had soda in over a year. I just drink water. I put the minimum. The only really Like condiment I put is like maybe some ketchup, organic ketchup without any high fructose corn syrup. Like I'm trying to be really
No
conscious.
dyes, no chemicals, no preservatives. Yeah, I get it. I do the same thing. But I think that's a big misconception when people say, "Oh, I'm in my prep, or I'm in my off season. You know, I'm in my bulk." Like, dude, it's the same shit. You know, you're not doing as much cardio maybe, and you're not in a diet, you're not in a calorie surplus. You know, but we're eating the same foods. We're in the same routine, doing the same shit. You know, but people try to sell you. They think they're going to take the public to the dance. It's like some new dance. You know,
but I think for some people there is a transition. So some people they don't, the off season is kind of like, you know, I eat what I like as long as I get, you know, enough meals, or I won't do cardio, or I don't know, they kind of take it easy a little bit. For me, it's exact same. Like I wake up in the morning, I do my cardio.
Well, like I said, because you're looking to make progress. Other people are looking to slack off. There's a difference, you know.
Yeah,
but when you're looking to progress,
that's why I catch them, because I don't necessarily have all the genetic tools some others have. So, you know, I have to make my way where I can.
Yeah, hard work prevails. That's for sure. I mean, and you put on a great showing this year. That's for sure. You know,
takes tons of I Prevail supplements, dude. He knows what to do coming into next season.
That's why I supplement. I don't go crazy. Like right now we just clean up everything, you know, just a little bit of test so far. Just we're doing half cc every other day, and taking everything out, dropping protein low, bumping carbs up, fats a little higher, and that's it. That's how we start.
So Stan, were you impressed when I put out when I actually called the night before 1, 2, and 3? I literally said,
but I saw it after, but because I don't watch.
Okay. I put it on Instagram. Sheer 1, De La Rosa 2, Stanimal 3.
Yeah.
And I also predicted Phil Klahar beating Hassan. And if you go back and look, I didn't even realize this until I did a collaboration yesterday with Max Muscle. I actually, when I first interviewed Samson Dowda 3 years ago, I told him he could win the Arnold Classic. Bro, I got a fucking gift, bro. I'm telling you.
Nice.
I'm like Nostradamus.
Winning the Olympia, how many years?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't know. I'm fucking gifted like that. What do you think, Ons?
I think you try to find these small little victories to give yourself some sort of
boost
in morale, boost in self-esteem.
The one I did.
The skinny girl at the gym ain't giving it to you, so you got to get it. You got to get it from these predictions.
Man, I'm telling you, every once in a while,
you got a knack for it. You got a knack. You should start a podcast and fucking talk about it.
Really? Everybody's gonna want Powerball numbers. I don't know. Fuck. What do I know about Powerball? I don't know nothing about the lottery. You know. Yeah. Well, I will tell you how I do. How I do it, if you will. There's more of a human element to it.
Okay.
Right.
Please do. We're all dying to know. We're all
okay. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. It's a human element to it, right? So when I see that, like for example, Blessing did not put anything on Instagram. He wasn't talking shit. He was real quiet. I was like, well, he's out of shape, because when he's in shape, that motherfucker's talking mad shit and blasting it all over Instagram, right? I was like, Patrick Moore has not been in shape in the last few shows.
That's for years.
Yeah, really. So I'm like, he's not going to be in shape. And De La Rosa made a comeback, and I was like, he's probably the most complete, but he's been putting a lot of shots on Instagram, which means he's confident in what he looks like. So I'm like, all right, De La Rosa, I'm going to put second because Shire, right? I've been fucking up his name forever. I was like, Shire looks like, you know, the new kid on the block that you got to watch out for. And I had you in third because your conditioning is going to beat everybody until you get to those, you know, top couple of guys. Now, next year, if you make progress and you come in with that same conditioning, it's fucking lights out for everybody else, dude. I don't know what to tell you. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, bro. I'm just it's unbelievable. I don't know. People have been hitting me up. They're like, I want lotto numbers, come to Atlantic City with me. I'm like, nah, I can't do that.
No, honestly,
you see a consistent. Sorry, do you see like a consistent well, from show to show, you see some of these guys, and some of the guys that can do well, just lack the ability of peaking, for their shows. Like, Shire, good, really good physique. He's got a good physique, but he was off. He was not crisp. He was a little watery. And you'd think, making an impact, and look, granted, he was good enough to win, but you want to put a fucking exclamation point on that thing, dude. You know what I mean? Like, you want to hit with a hammer, it's like he did enough just to win.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because it's his first pro show. So I know Arns is a little harder with the pros than I am, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because it's first pro show, and it could have been nerves. It could have been, God knows why. Change of coach. I don't know who trains him. Does Matt Jensen? It could have been, and then, but if he's smart, which I don't think he's stupid, I guarantee you he's going to make the changes for the Olympia. Guaranteed, unless he's, unless he's one of those guys that are comfortable. But I doubt Matt Jensen would work with somebody who would be not full steam ahead for the Olympia. No, that's what I mean by the human element. You got to look at these things.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I remember seeing updates of Justin, I think about 4 weeks out, and I was like, he looked a little behind. And then, like, in 1 week, he changed so much. I was like, Matt Jensen knows his stuff. He's gonna,
Oh yeah.
He's doing his magic. And then when I saw him, I was like, he probably need a couple more weeks, to be really dialed. I mean, he's great. He won. Nothing to take away, but like to be really dialed in, to really
right.
I think he maybe needed a little, like maybe another 2 weeks.
Yeah, right, exactly. Which I think he'll probably fall on track for the Olympia, because if you don't fall on track for the Olympia, I mean, you're just gonna literally get your ass handed to you and send you back home. It's a different ball game on that stage, totally different. But
I mean, as a rookie, it's good, to get your feet wet. Then
right,
went up against the best of the best, so then nobody really can scare you after that.
yeah, right, exactly. Which shows you did 3 in a row? Which shows did you do? You did Vancouver
and Chicago.
Right. Orlando, Vancouver. You came in 3rd in Orlando, right? 2nd in Vancouver. And then 3rd in Chicago. Right. Okay. All right. What else do I got to talk about? I don't know. What do you think, Owens? We got a small NPC bodybuilding show coming up. It's actually not small for New Jersey. It's actually pretty big.
Oh, one of the top shows in New Jersey, dude.
Because Jay is a bodybuilding promoter.
All right.
And Muscle Beach. And next year he wants you to come and guest pose
all right.
for free, for free, unfortunately.
It's part of the deal. Coming on the show, you got to fly out and
He wanted me to guest pose. I went, come on, man, I don't want to do that.
Just to get used to
We've produced some top athletes that came out of there. Nick Walker won the show back in 2016, I believe.
Okay.
Shaniqua Grant.
Oh, nice.
Some good athletes came from the Muscle Beach.
That's it. That's the only 2 you got.
No, dude, there's Bikini Pro. I don't remember his name, but the people that people would know. Those are the top names. Well, you, John, but you didn't have much of a pro career, so I gotta pales in comparison to some of the names I mentioned prior.
I won in 2012, and then I went away after that. Then I said, fuck this. I ain't doing this shit again. No, I competed up until 2014, and I just it's like I hated prepping, and I knew I wasn't going to do any damage. So I just said, fuck it. So I bought a microphone, and now I have Jason Owens on and Stanimal, and I talk shit about bodybuilding. That's basically what I do.
Next week we'll have the winner of the Muscle Beach on, and
that's right. Yeah, that's right. I hope it's somebody. Hope it's somebody good. We'll be fucked up.
Somebody good.
Hope it's somebody good. Hope it's somebody that I could like.
There's a couple good. I don't know if I told you, dude. There's some quality guys.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Because I'm the promoter, dude. They send me pictures and they tag me, in their Instagram. There's like 3 or 4 guys, dude, with good physiques that could do well at a national level.
I mean, besides the dick pics, though, they send you a physique pic.
Yeah, those I like. I file them in my vault. I have a private vault.
Yeah,
I have combination too, and but no, they'll send me, they'll tag me with their coach and their trainer, and some good physiques.
Stan,
It's nice to see. It's nice to see because I
it is.
think there's a lot of talent in the pool right now, and it's nice to see young guys coming up.
Stan, you get a lot of you get a lot of girls that chase you because you're Stanimal and you have this huge following.
I got my girlfriend and I'm very loyal, so I think
I understand you're not gonna cheat and you're not gonna fuck around.
No, but I think people know, so I don't get that much of a people
really.
People know I'm married. I get it a lot.
Really? I'm married and I don't get even anything. So
because you gave it up in 2014, dude. If you would have kept going,
really, yeah. You think I would have been?
You think I
would have been the next? You think I would have been Stanimal right behind him?
We would have you on the show. You'd be our next guest.
Yeah. Ah, shit.
Get a nice guest for next week.
I would love to know what it feels like just when you walk in a room and girls just freak the fuck out. I read one of Mike Tyson's books, right? And he in the 80s when he used to fight in Las Vegas. Before that, he would go like shopping. Before or after the fight, he would go shopping, and they would shut the fucking store down for him. So if he was in like Gucci, they would shut the store down for him. And he was in his 20s, he was the heavyweight champion of the world, whatever. And he'd be trying clothes on right there in the middle of the store, but a crowd of people would go in, and then he would just be like, oh, he would point to a girl that he liked that's outside. He goes, let that one in. He would just go, let that one in. And I'm like, son of a bitch. Could you imagine being able to do that? Yeah, that one just.
Dude, I saw Mike Tyson in a mall in Las Vegas.
Really?
Yeah, it was the last Olympia I competed in. It was 2011. I was with my training partner at the time. We were waiting to catch our flight. And we went to the mall. And he was there with his wife walking through, and there was just a fucking crowd just following him.
Yeah, he's Mike Tyson. I mean, he's a fucking living legend, It's unbelievable. But Stan, who you follow basketball? Who was your favorite team growing up?
So I was more like, following players than teams because I'm not from here.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a huge fan of Michael Jordan, of course, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Allen Iverson.
Yeah, all the greats. Yeah, of course. Was there anybody that was like middle of the road that you really liked in basketball? Because for me, I mean, I was like an off and on basketball fan, a general basketball fan, and I always liked Nate Robinson because he would come off the court, he would be on the bench, he'd come off and he would just light shit up for like
He's like 5'5".
Yeah, he's a little dude, yeah. But he's got like a 42-inch vertical jump or something like that.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. So was there anybody like that you liked?
Well, Allen Iverson, he was like next level superstar, but like he was, 5'9", maybe 5'10". Like he was short and he was scoring like 35 points on everybody all year round. So to me, that was inspiring because I was, a shorter guy. I'm not like for basketball, I'm a shorter guy. So
was he the NBA player that they banned a particular move?
No, they stopped the band. They had the dress code up because of him. They changed the dress code because he would show up all with chains, baggy jeans, bandanas, all tattoos everywhere. So you had to cover tattoos, dress code as well, like shirts and stuff.
Oh yeah, they used to come in suits, right? They used to come in like if they were that's
yeah. There was a dress code.
Mm-hmm.
And, he really revolutionized the NBA. It was like his style and the way of his crossover, like all that stuff. Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm thinking of, the crossover.
That was banned, but he was known for it. Yeah.
Okay, and that's there was a time or two where he actually messed up Jordan with that.
Yeah, when he was a rookie, he played against Jordan and just.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
What about today? Who do you like today?
2 days, I really like Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he was the MVP.
Oh, okay.
Bucks, most valuable player. I really liked Russell Westbrook for a long time too.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially when he was playing for KC. And then I like the Clippers a lot. When I was in LA, I was a big Clippers fan.
Right.
Especially when they were like all the Lob City, all the Blake Griffin and all that.
That's right. When Blake Griffin jumped over the car to win the
Yeah, it was like Griffin jumping in like over the basketball and then just throwing it to DeAndre Jordan and they would just slam it. Like it was just
dude, this guy Blake Griffin during what was it, the slam competition? They put a car in front of the basketball net, and this guy jumped over the car to fucking slam the fucking basketball.
Chubby. Sorry.
And then what kind of dog you got? We got 3 dog people here.
Yeah, Chubby, come here. Come here. Come on.
The dog's name is Chubby. I hope it's a bulldog.
Chubby, come here. Come here, buddy. Come on.
Oh, he's a pit. Oh, wow. Look at him.
Well, I got 3.
How many dogs you got, Stan?
3.
Yeah, so do I, actually. I do. I got 3. I got 1 pit mix. I got 1 Cane Corso. Nice. And I have 1 Old English Bulldog.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. and then Jay's got some kind of fucking sissy Mary dog. What do you got?
No, he's a mutt, dude. He's a rescue, but he's like he's 15% pit. He's got a little bit of everything in him, dude.
Yeah. You rescued him like from a house fire?
I did. I rescued him from ISIS. He was they had a hood on him. They had him in front of the camera. I went in there, dude, with my Iron Man suit.
Yeah. You read
took him out of the wreckage. No, he was from a shelter, not a shelter, but we adopted him. He was from the projects of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Not kidding.
I think Bill Burr did a bit on that. He's like, did you really rescue the dog, or did you just go down to the pound to get a free dog?
No, actually, the lady who we got him from, she's like she adopts these pets. And, she drove down to Atlanta to get his. Actually, my neighbor got his brother. That's how we found out about him, because it was during COVID. The girls wanted a dog, so I'm like, all right, we'll get a dog, So we found out about this lady from our neighbor who adopted his brother, and she drove up to our house with him. He was a good boy, So we can't say.
Dude, I'm a total dog person. They get away with murder with me. I mean, it's just I got Jolene is the Cane Corso. She's 6 months old. She's 70 pounds. Yeah. So, and she sleeps in the bed with me. And my wife gets pissed, but I'm like, I don't give a shit. And she's only going to get bigger. The vet said she'll be about 120, 125 by the time it's all said and done. Yeah. It's the same breed as Samson Dowder's got, only a different color. And the other guy, I got an Old English Bulldog, and the pit she's going to be 15. So
got this other guy over there.
Where is he? Oh, okay. You got 2. You got 3. You got 3 pits?
2 bullies and 1 mini doodle.
2 bullies and what?
Mini doodle.
Oh, one of those crossbreeds that they market as exotic.
I don't know. That's my girlfriend's.
Oh, that's your girlfriend. Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
He's a great dog too.
Listen, Stan. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate you coming on. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big podcast, so when somebody like yourself comes on, it's greatly appreciated.
My pleasure.
Truly is. Thank you very much for coming on. And hopefully, if I'd love you to come back. I mean, I'd love you to be a regular. If you come back, I mean, seriously, I'll hit you up, and if you're not busy, come back and shoot the shit with us.
Check your progress. Yeah, come along with your off season. We let people see what you're about.
That sounds good.
Yeah, and if you're not busy and you come on and we'll shoot the shit. This one was more like an interview. Next time we'll just basically be shooting the shit about bodybuilding. But I truly appreciate you coming on, dude.
Yeah, I love talking about bodybuilding, so no problem.
Thank you. And Stan, tell everybody that they got to like and subscribe to Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding.
Like and subscribe to Serious and Silliness YouTube channel.
Thank you very much. And everybody's got to take I Prevail subs from Jason Arns. No, you can't do that, Stan. I won't let you do that. Don't worry about it. Jay could do that one. Jay could do that.
He does it on the down low. But everybody anybody is taking I Prevail supplements.
That's right. So
if they want the good shit. If they want the good formulas,
go get your pre-workout from I Prevail subs, but don't take the full dosage.
No full 2 scoops. Just
don't take. You'll
single scoop the mission.
Yeah, after you go to the gym, you'll build an addition on your house after you come home if you take 2 scoops. All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. And Jay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Stan, we'll be in touch. Thank you, fellas.
Stan, nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you guys.
Later.
Bye.